Welcome back to Cub. I'm Dofri,
My name is Saphirade.
and this is another episode of Cubscriber Cribs.
Ooh. Last week, we looked through all the Cliffside Crew buildings, and this will be the part 2 of it, which will be a bit different than our other Cubscriber Cribs episodes. It's a bit more building and design focused, and since I have some editing work to do, I leave it up to you, Dofri.
Yeah, thank you. I'm currently standing on Aishling's tower and looking around, trying to get some inspiration what we could build here for the Cliffside Crew. I'm currently working around, looking at the buildings. We kinda started a trend that we put a building in every base that we visit, like a small gift. For example, we decorated a Bad Omen farm for another Band-Aid, and also built a nice totem for Eiflem and Icke. So we were thinking, yeah, we should put here something as well. So I'm running around trying to get some ideas, and what I'm not seeing here is a proper center. They do not have like a town hall or headquarters for the Cliffside Crew, so that could be a possible idea. So trying to come up with something, I have two main problems that came along my way. The first is the style and the block palette that I need to use, because everyone here is using a different block palette and the buildings are in a bit different styles. You can't just like build, hi Fenagon, you can't just really build one building that fits them all. Or at least it's gonna be a challenge. The second problem is the positioning. We cannot really put something right in the center because it seems that they like plan out every bit of the area. What also came to my mind, because they're named Cliffside Crew, is to build something on a cliffside, but yeah, those mountains, they look near and they render in, but it's because I'm using Bobby. Normally you wouldn't see them if you like stand in the middle of the area. That's why building something on a mountain far away from everyone is not the optimal place for me. And also I cannot build like over there next to Uttercraft because she probably wants to build something there by herself. So let's go through the whole design process together so you can see what's inside my head when I create buildings for Minecraft. To tackle problem number 1, I made a copy of every major building there is in the Cliffside Crew from every of their members. So for example, there's Uttercraft, here are the buildings by Fenagon, here is the tower of Aisling, here's Dragonless Science Village, and here is the entrance to the mountain by Grimbold. Here we see a nice overview of the main block palette the 5 players of the Cliffside Crew are using. As you can see, they are quite different from each other, but they still have some similarities. So let's try to come up with our own building palette and combine those 5 together. And it appears that the whole Cliffside Crew agrees on those building blocks, so they love their stone and deep slab variants. They love warped wood, prismarine variants, copper in all stages but especially the fully oxidized one, quartz, bone blocks, variants of blackstone, and polished basalt. There was a surprising amount of polished basalt in those buildings, and also some wood variants. I've created my own block palette from all the blocks that are used by the Cliffside Crew and added some of my own blocks. So we have quartz variants and the bone blocks, blackstone, basalt, deep slate, prismarine, copper, and the warped wood. Also other wood variants with the copper oxidation stage that fits them, and also some stone and andesite variants. If you look at this, the first thing that comes into your mind is a quite normal building that would be like made fully out of stone and andesite. The base would be out of those darker blocks. It would have oxidized roof made out of prismarine and copper and warped wood. It would be like greenish, and the inside would be out of wood with some quartz decoration. But I think we can come up with something more creative than that. But before we can do that, we have to think of a building style we want to go for. And the Cliffside Crew gives us a tough time with that. We have like a very evil looking base here. Yeah, nice houses here. Probably wizard or witch tower here. Transformed vanilla village and also a dwarven mountain entrance. It's hard to combine those, right? I already mentioned that the building should be like a headquarters or like a town center, a meeting room for the Cliffside Crew. So first I started thinking about the rooms the building will need. So every building needs a nice entrance, and especially headquarters needs a proper entrance. They will probably want a meeting room, a project room where they want to put their ideas together, like on a big drawing board, and have everything scheduled what they want to do as a crew. Maybe a museum with the special items that they gathered so far, and maybe some storage for that even, like for every community materials. And also a map room would be nice, so they have a map of their whole area, and maybe also some bedrooms. So my idea was to give every one of them a room which they can decorate by themselves somewhere in the building, so everyone can personalize a bit of the buildings by themselves. And now that we have established the rooms that the building will need, we can start imagining how big it should be, but it shouldn't definitely be much bigger than the Cliffside Crew's builds. Yeah, it shouldn't really be, right? It wouldn't fit. So let's like try to keep at maximum at this size for the whole build. Maybe. We'll see what we can do. Now we know what our building palette is. We know the rough size of the building we're building. So let's combine problem 1 and problem 2. The building style and the positioning. Fenagon doesn't know what we are designing, but he knows that we are designing something, and he had the idea to put a build up in the air so it doesn't interfere with any of their buildings or future plans, and I kinda like that idea. And I think the center would be a perfect fit because all the roles from all the buildings like kinda meet here. So we will put our Cliffside Crew headquarters here and up in the air. And I also talked with Saphirade about possible designs, and she had the great idea to put a building on a cloud up in the air. And I think this is a great idea that gives us many possibilities, but also at the same time some problems, because if you build a building up in the air, you have to make it pretty from every angle, but you can also design in a very free way because you have nothing that distracts you or is in your way. And also the bedrooms for the 5 members gave me an idea to put the rooms in different vertical positionings because they are all kind of living in different spaces height wise. For example, Grimbold and Uta are living kinda in a mountain or under the earth. Fenagon and Dragon and Sai are living on the ground, and Aisling is kinda living in the air. And that made me think about Hogwarts. And in case you don't know the books or the movies, Hogwarts has 4 different houses for the students. So the students are living in different spaces in the building, also vertically. For example, Slytherin is living down and Ravenclaw is living up in the air. That's a nice idea to implement here as well. So I color coded all the different areas and started laying out some rooms. So the idea is that we have an entrance here in front, of course, a tower for the map. Here is the big meeting room, the main room of the whole build, the project area, maybe the secret room with the museum. Here will be the storage, and there also are the rooms for the members. So for example, Fenagon has a room here on the corner. Few steps down, here will be Autocraft. Down underneath will be a room for Grimbold. We will build a tower for Aisling, and also we have a dragon room for Dragon Sign. Now that the rooms got some volume, you can start imagining how this whole building will come together. You can see the roofs in your mind and also the different ways the rooms could be connected. Your imagination starts sparkling. That's how a good design process should go. You get a rough idea about the shapes, about the sizes, and then your mind just does the job for you. Back at our building palette, we will try to decide which blocks should go where, but we still want to try to be somehow creative with it and not do something boring, right? So I started to think about the roofs that the building parts will get and also copied the block palette here, so it's easy for me to think about it. I was also looking at the buildings the Cliffside Crew has built and trying to get inspired and come up with something nice. So I decided to make the roofs out of wood and outline them with prismarine and warped wood, similar like some of the members of the Cliffside Crew do. The outside will probably be lighter with some quartz highlights, and I will do a darker inside. Building from inside out, I placed the main blocks for the floor and also for the walls, and you really get the feeling for the building. So let's start working on the outside. I will probably place just stone for now, so I have the outside layer of everything, and maybe then the first proper thing to do would be the roof. But before we do that, I put everywhere a line of building blocks that is covering the inside, and we start to get a feel for the problems that we will occur. I'm not worried about the shapes that are underneath because they will be covered by terraforming, or in this case clouds, but what really needs to look good are the upper parts of the building. So yeah, tackling the roof first is a very good idea. We can maybe decide if we need any different shapes or sizes for the building if in case the roof doesn't look good. So let's try it, and I think I will start with this roof here because it's like separated from the other roofs. It's not intersecting with any of them, so I can try out the building palette here and then translate it into the other roofs. Look at it, look at this roof and tell me this doesn't look absolutely awesome. I'm really in love with it. I chose a gradient so the roof gets darker and darker to the top, and as I mentioned before, the rim out of prismarine and warped wood. I'm in love. I'm really in love with this. A few hours later, I'm slowly getting there. I finished the roof about the map room and I'm very happy with it. It looks mighty awesome, and I try to implement the building style into the other roofs. But because you have so many different shapes and angles on the roofs, yeah, it's quite a challenge. Some parts are easy, some parts are hard. And since I decided to do the gradient for each and every roof and not connect every roof with the gradient, yeah, so every roof has its own gradient, the intersections look kind of wonky. So I will have to come up with ideas somewhere there and also try to figure out those areas and this one where the roofs meet the tower. And yeah, maybe probably everything will come together nicely when I also implement the prismarine and warped rim that I have put there. Probably putting them like in the intersection of the roofs would be a great idea to like connect everything together, and so the connections don't look so wonky and dirty and chaotic. Progress update. So the main structure of the roofs, the main shapes are finished and also the gradients are placed. From above it's looking fine, but if you get closer, yeah, there are still some places I have to work on, and I still have to bring some decoration in and maybe change the shape of the roof slightly so they look more interesting like the roofs of the towers. And yeah, I will get into it and we see each other again when I'm done with it. I'm not completely done yet, but I still wanted to show you some progress I did on the roofs. I'm starting to get in love with the build. Really, I mean, look at this. Look at this. But yeah, they're not completely done. I will probably try to implement some small structures here, like some windows, also chimneys, and also blend the gradients more together so they're like not so linear. But yeah, until now it's looking mighty fine in my opinion. And I also added a small tower in the middle to blend those two big roofs together. And so after many hours the roofs are finally finished. I'm done adding the chimneys, and I added also some windows here and blended the gradients more together so the roof does look even better now. I'm so pleased with it. I did such a good job. I did such a well job on that. So the next step is to transform the walls and decorate them. Put some windows in there and stuff like this. And I hope this will be a lot easier than making the roofs. I think the roofs were the hardest part of the whole build. So let me do the walls and we'll see you in the next progress update. I live by two mottos in Minecraft. One is don't be afraid of big projects, and the second one is if you don't like something, change it. So while building the windows and the openings, I changed the block palette. I started decorating with quartz, but in my opinion it was way too bright for the rest of the building, so I switched to sandstone and birch, and I think it's way better. It fits the rest of the building way more and still highlights the openings. And I tried to put a different window on each segment so there's no like repetition and it doesn't get boring. And in my opinion the windows are mighty fine. I like them so much, especially this one, the beautiful archway here. Yeah, I like the openings. They turned out really great, really great. So the next two things I have to tackle are the interior and the terraforming, or in this case the cloud. Terraforming will be probably the easier part for me, but interior is something that I'm not that good at. Saphirade is way better than me, so I will talk to her about the interior so she can help me out a bit while designing this. So as we also had so many progress updates so far, so I will probably tackle the whole terraforming in one take and come back to you guys when I'm finished with all of it. And the exterior is done. As you can see, I added some greenery in some of the places that I found that the building is a bit too empty. And I also finished the cloud. So for example here, you can see Grimbold's bedroom then is sticking out of the cloud. I like it a lot. I think it turned out beautiful. I won't be talking about terraforming in detail because it's a very large topic and there are several different methods to do terraforming. But in general, I went for a flat cloud on the bottom, then gets like round and puffy as it comes nearest the building. Also, this tower sticks out a little bit from here, and yeah, it's awesome. It's exactly how I imagine it. So let's talk with Saphirade about interior now. So I showed the building to Saphirade and she basically told me I'm crazy, I should get some help. But she's kind of right. To be honest, I spent like 15 hours in creative designing this building. And trying to tackle now the interior, which I'm very bad at, or at least not that good. I think I'm quite good at every aspect of Minecraft, except for interior and details. So I wanted her help. And she suggested, why should we decorate the whole building inside? Why not let the Cliffside Crew make it their own building? Not only the bedrooms, which were planned to be decorated by the members from the beginning on, but also the rest of it. And I liked that idea. I talked with Uttercraft and she liked it as well. She thinks it's a very good thing when they can decorate the building by themselves, do the interior by themselves and make this really their own place. So we decided to only decorate the main room. And I think Saphirade did a very great job here. She did it for me. So we have a nice fireplace here, some armor stand work, banners. There's also the Cliffside Crew logo and a nice place for their meetings. I think it turned out very nicely. It fits the building and fits the color scheme of the exterior. And that's basically it. That's everything I will do for the interior here. So now let's show every room that the Cliffside crew has the opportunity to play with. On this side of the meeting room we have the front tower, which I thought would be a nice place for a map room. On this side we have a small corridor which leads to Fenagon's room with this nice archy windows. Next to it is the storage room, and I also already built a small attic there. Not decorated, but built it, and it turned out quite nicely. Here is a small corridor with a secondary entrance to the castle and also Uttercraft's room. Next to the, or behind the fireplace, is the project room where I imagined like a table and a board where they put all the ideas here together, what they want to build as a crew. We have a room here for maybe like trophies or storage for special items. Here is Aishling's tower, which is by far the biggest room of the Cliffside crew. And maybe they can put like a farm up there and make the room smaller so it's fair to the other members. If we go back to the main meeting room, here is also another small hallway that leads to Dragonal Science, Dragonal Room. Down here is another secondary entrance and Grimborn's room. And here is the entrance to the underside of the castle, which has very large space in here. I think you can fit quite a lot of farms in here in case they want to build something. But yeah, in general, almost every wall that is interior can be exchanged here. That doesn't interfere with the exterior because I made, yeah, almost everything 2 layers thick. So they can really do with it whatever they want. Exchange the interior walls, decorate it however they want. And I'm very excited to see what they will come up to once this building is theirs. I hope you guys liked the overview how I design buildings. Except for the interior, yeah, that's really a point where I have to start working on and get some more inspiration, maybe learn from other people. Interior is really not a thing I can do well. But yeah, other than that, this building is majestic, it's very beautiful, I love it. And I'm very happy and excited to build it together with Saphirade on the Cubscriber SMP. And I'm also very excited to see what the Cliffside crew thinks about it once it's done. But before we start gathering materials and building the castle, there's one last bit of preparation we have to do, and that is the exact positioning. In the beginning of the video I mentioned that I kinda want to put it in the middle of the Cliffside crew, but the castle will throw quite a large shadow and I didn't want the whole area be dark. And at the same time Uttercraft reached out to me and said I can put near her base anything I want, she trusts me. And since she has a sinister, evil looking like Will mansion kinda, it looks quite nice, a shadow at that area would fit it very nicely. But there's one problem, her 4 beacons would intersect with the castle and I didn't want to change up the design. So I positioned the castle so that the beacons will be in front of her room's windows. And the whole thing will look like this. It's just about cloud level because the castle itself is built on a cloud. And also if it would be like at height limit, the terrain here wouldn't render in on the server, so that wouldn't be nice as well. But now they can walk outside or look outside the window and they will still see their bases from here. And yeah, also it's fitting the clouds. I think it's the perfect positioning. And from this angle you can see what I meant. There is the room for Uttercraft and their 4 beacons are just in front of him, perfectly aligned. It looks quite nice. I like the positioning very much. And yeah, time to gather some resources, time to build it. Let's get Saphirade to help us out. And let's build this, yeah, tiny cute little present for the Cliffside crew. Hello there.
Hi.
So thanks for the help, gathering the resources and already sorting them. That will be helpful while building.
Yeah, anytime.
So let's build the castle.
Yeah, you can start. I still have some editing to do.
Okay.
It is a bit more work, but
Okay.
I will definitely join you somewhere in between.
Okay, so then I just start building and yeah, enjoy the following time lapse. In my opinion, the 19 hours of building were totally worth it.
Oh yes, it was.
It's actually a week later now, so let's check out if the Cliffside Crew did anything to the building. I see the banners got changed, and here is also a cat.
And I see Fenagon made like a run and jump area.
Parkour.
Parkour, right. No, I think he is still doing some progress here and changing the floor, seating, etc. So he will take his time to finish his room.
There's already some things going on in the project room, and I see they brought in some resources, and yeah, mushrooms are spreading here.
Yeah, widely spreading mushrooms from Iceling's, sorry, room.
Iceling star.
Yeah, and it looks really good. She's not finished yet, but it looks witchy.
Girl is cooking.
Getting a bit hot in here.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, do your feetsies need a bath?
No, I just fell in here and now I feel like I need to cook. Yummy polar bear, yay!
Saphirade just ran inside, but have you seen the banners outside?
Yeah, I have.
Oh my god, I've never seen. It's a good idea.
Oh no.
What happened? What have... Did Utacat transformed into string?
Yes, it just did, and I don't know how.
Yeah, it's only a cat, forget it. Other than that, we know that Utacraft built a bed and breakfast here.
Yeah, a really nice one. It's very cozy, and we have some friends over here. I mean, Utacat just lived the theme of this room, right?
The whole room is actually an inside joke, because I once called Uta a nice girl with a spooky base, and he's actually a male, and he thought it was so funny that he did a spooky room with some nice elements. So pink bed, some tulips here and there, nice greenery, and there's also a friendly cat that is now a ghost.
Yeah, a ghost. Let's call it like that.
And in case any Cubscribers visit this room, please check the guest book. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it is. I really love to scroll through that.
And the best thing about here is the pillager that is sitting there and pooping, and the poop is sticking to the wall. There's so much love for detail. I love it. Okay. Let's go to the other rooms.
She will stay forever in our hearts.
As it appears, the only lazy member of the Cliffside Crew is Dragonstein.
Well, maybe she's busy with the build contest still, because this one will still be going on till tomorrow. And also Cubfam will be streaming when the winners are announced from Twitch TV, so make sure to join there.
To be honest, I totally forgot that, because I was finished with my build on day 1 of the contest. Yeah, and underneath here, someone hasn't spawn-proofed in here. But the viewers already know the Cliffside Crew is very bad at spawn-proofing.
Yeah.
I also heard a zombie when we were at Uta's room, so yeah, I'm not surprised at all. Yeah, they're living up to their
to their tradition.
to their tradition. Yeah.
Maybe they just want spooky sounds around here.
And this is Grimwald's room, which is of course my favorite room here. I love the egg here. I don't get the Polish or Monaco flag here, but never mind. Yeah, they're eating some crystals here, like real dwarves do. The hard man eating hard things.
And bread and giga pies.
Giga pies, nice.
How did they come here?
But I like it a lot that he extended his room because he had some place underneath it. It's exactly what I thought about. They can change the inside of the castle however they want, and I think it's good that he did that, and it turned out nicely. It fits his space,
Yeah.
and it also fits the area because he's living in the lowest room here, height-wise. Yeah, he's living like in the basement, and he turned his room into a forge. With this beautiful lamp behind me, it's time to say goodbye. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I also hope you enjoyed me explaining the design and thought process. I really like the format, and I think I will keep doing this.
Also, we got a little surprise for you at the end of this episode, so make sure that you're still till the last second. And yeah, we hope that you like that bit as well as you like the whole episode.
If you like it, please click the like button. If you like the both of us, please subscribe, and we see each other next week. Bye bye. See ya.